Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy and disgusting leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I say what you are thinking. Lots to get to this week. Update on my Twitter. I'm still suspended for no reason. And once again, they claim that I reported myself for suspension, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So keep doing the most Twitter and keep being tyrannical because you are. Now, every week on my channel, I like to dedicate a plastic straw to a filthy leftist or a group of leftists who may deserve it. And this week I was like, gosh, there's just so many. There's just so many collective leftists that deserve it. Could we give it to the NBA? Could we give it to Kamala Harris? Could we give it to Michelle Obama? But actually, at the end of the day, the all-encompassing filthy leftist media gets the straw this week. So we'll talk about that, why, in a minute. I mean, why don't they get the straw? They should get it every week. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Share my content since I cannot tweet anymore, at least right now. And that's the platform I was on the most. But you can follow me on Angela Box, Facebook, Angela Box Public on Facebook, and also I'm on Parler, Instagram at The Box That Rocks. And this week's article on Angela's Soapbox, and if you want to see all content, by the way, it's all on angelasoapbox.com. This week's article is called Trump Beat the Rona and America Can Too. So let's get right into it, shall we? Now, last Friday when President Trump announced that he had the Rona, I was like, oh God, could this year please just be over already? But a funny thing happened. Trump showed in 72 hours that not only did he beat the Rona, but that it's not a deadly disease for most people. Quite the contrary. Now think about this. President Trump, they say, is morbidly obese, which is, I thought that's body shaming. Are you body shaming Trump? I guess if we body shame Trump, that's fine, but not Lizzo. But anyway, Trump is a little overweight and he's 74 years old. So he's in that sweet spot of where he might get the Rona. And he's also in the sweet spot of where it could be deadly. So all weekend, the media was just salivating like, oh my God, what's his oxygen level? Oh, is he dead? Did he die yet? Is he convalescing? Is he dead? Is he on a ventilator? So sick, so disgusting. But what President Trump did is he made himself kind of a guinea pig for all these new experimental therapeutics, the antibody transfusion, remdesivir, and the Regeneron. And I'm still holding out hope that he is going to use hydroxychloroquine to kind of put the nail in the coffin and then come out and announce to everyone, yeah, that I did all these other things, but the thing that really was the kill shot was the hydroxychloroquine, which we're not allowed to say on YouTube or anywhere else. But what I find, because Trump is who he is, they were wishing him dead and, blue check marks all over the place were wishing him dead. There's only a couple of celebrities I saw that were gracious and kind. Most of them were just awful. But he showed that not only is it not as lethal as this media has been telling us, but we don't need to fear it because it's basically like a really crappy cold or flu. And when he came out and said we don't need to fear the Rona, the media had a total meltdown. They're like, no, we must keep the fear ratcheted up as high of a level as possible. How dare the president say we shouldn't fear the Rona? That's just blasphemy. And then when he came, he was flown back from Walter Reed, got off the Marine One, saluted the Marines, saluted the American people, and then he took off his mask. And that did them in two. You can't take off your mask, President Trump, because we must use the mask as a talisman of fear, as political theater, as political propaganda, and that's all it is. That is all the mask is at this point, because there's not been one study that proves a toxic diaper, a bandana, a shirt, your arm does anything to stop the Rona. Anyway, so glad that President Trump is back. They want to do a virtual debate. Biden's like, sure, I'll do that. I can have crib notes and I can have someone in my ear and, whispering, say this, like he probably had with the little wire and on the last debate. But Trump's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So hopefully they're going to come to an agreement to do an in-person debate. I mean, put them on opposite sides of the stage. Who cares? But speaking of debates, last night was the vice presidential debate, and I will admit, full disclosure, I did not watch it. I got the recap later because honestly, I did not want to hear the demon with the good hair, Senator Kneepads, and her whiny chainsaw voice for an hour and a half. So I did not watch it, but I did see that she brought out some real big whoppers because remember, the Democrat agenda is so insane that they're running away from it. They won't say they're going to pack the courts. They're denying they're going to do the Green New Deal. They're denying their $4 trillion in tax raises. They're trying to run away from all these manifestos, these deals with the devil they have made with the far left, like Bernie Sanders. By the way, I noticed that there's this is really weird. My phone, I swear, I am not going to do this video over. We're going to make it work. It is fuzzy over here. I don't know. Let me just move over here. Let me just hang on. Let's just move this little. Okay. We'll try this out. Okay. Anyway, they've made a deal with the devil, and this is what the devil wants. The devil wants payment. So Kamala Harris, because the Democrat agenda is so horrible and they're running away from it, she brought out 2 huge whoppers that Trump never said or that never happened. The suckers and losers comment. Both she and Biden said that. That is completely debunked. And then the lie that Russia has bounties on our American soldiers in Afghanistan, which, again, actual intelligence, not deep state player intelligence, said no, that is not true. So they can't talk about how they're going to pack the court with far left radicals. They can't talk about how they're going to have illegal immigrants swarm in and they get free healthcare and free everything. They can't talk about how they want 700% increase in refugees. Look how well that's worked out in Minnesota, by the way. People who refuse to assimilate to American culture whatsoever. They refuse to talk about any of the Green New Deal. They refuse to talk about any of it. They refuse to talk about law and order. They refuse to talk about how Kamala did work to bail out violent felons in the Minnesota Defense Fund. I mean, they're so nuts now that all they can do is gaslight, project, and try and ramp up the fear. Ramp up the fear of the Rona so you can get the mail-in ballots. And look, in the last 3 weeks, that's all we're going to see. It's the end of the world, and the Rona's going to get you. It's going to get you. And we better vote by mail. And I say no, because the post office has already said, this is not going to work. We can't handle this. And that's exactly what the Democrats expect. They're like, wow. I mean, it's 7 weeks later, there's still some votes coming in that precinct in Nevada. We need to count them. Don't you want every vote to count? So this is their game, this is their scam, and Trump's like, no, we're not playing this. So again, we must flood the zone in early voting and on election day. And I'm looking out to see what I might be missing. I'm almost to the end of my notes, which is amazing, and we're not even at 10 minutes yet. I'm trying to get it under 15 minutes. But anyway, go vote in person, flood the zone early voting and election day, and we cannot let these filthy leftists steal this election from us because their vision of America is scary and it's going to get real bad real quick, I predict, if they get in. I mean, my little Twitter suspension will look like child's play with what they're going to do to all of us. Okay. Also this week, we had the president in his convalescence, as he was dying on his deathbed from the Rona. He said, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and declass all the crap that Gina Haspel of the CIA refuses to declass. And it's going to keep on coming. And now we found out definitively that it was Hillary Clinton's idea and her campaign's idea to spin up this Russian collusion thing because they were trying to distract from her email scandal, Uranium One, and all of her ties with Russia. So remember, the Democrats gaslight, the Democrats project. They're the ones in bed with Russia. They're the ones colluding. They're the ones who have not been able to accept the results of an election for the last 4 years. They're the ones who don't want any peaceful transition of power. They're the ones who are promoting looting, rioting, civil unrest as some sort of actual peaceful protest. They are saying that we are doing everything they are doing. They are masters of gaslighting. But, I get that because the election's less than a month away. I mean, we've been waiting for this to come out for the last 3.5 years. And I guess we'll just have to wait a little longer because in Bill Barr's calculus, John Durham's calculus, it's too close to an election. They feel like it would be trying to sway an election, which, I mean, the Democrats do it and it's fine. So I don't know why we can't either, but whatever. We play by a different set of rules, a more moral set of rules than the Democrats play by. But at this point, it's all hands on deck. These people must be defeated. Their ideas are poison and toxic and insane, and they must be defeated no matter what. Speaking of toxic leftists, in Houston, this week, Governor Abbott, who is a total failure, and I shouldn't say a total failure, he's just a massive disappointment to me, especially at the beginning when he did not do the mask mandates, and then he decided to in May, I believe, and it's still going on. And again, masks don't do anything, and our case numbers, which is what it needs to be in order to take away the mask mandates and reopen bars, now below 5%, and hospitalizations plummeting, deaths plummeting, doesn't matter, because we got to keep the fear ratcheted up, and certainly in Harris County, which unfortunately is now a blue county, we must keep the fear ratcheted up and let the sheep go and, vote by mail and whatever. So Abbott decided this week that he was going to let his people go with the bars. And he said, oh, you can reopen bars. Oh, but there's a catch. Your local officials are the ones who are going to say if you get to go back or not. And guess what? In Harris County, Lena Hidalgo with her mask, I just want everyone to be safe. Do you like my cats on my mask today? My kitty cat's on my mask. Tomorrow I'll wear one with balloons on it. Anyway, I can't stand this woke Hitler, Dora, that woke Hitler explorer who only got to go to Stanford because she's a Latina. Let's not kid ourselves, because she is as dumb as a stump. But Lena Hidalgo now runs all of our lives, and Mayor Turner runs all of our lives, and we're not going to reopen the bars, and we still have to wear the mask. So I've had it, and it's even places that you wouldn't imagine that have become mask Nazis in other states. I mean, since Trump got the Rona, and people are like, oh my God, it's because they didn't wear the mask. No, other people who wore the mask got the Rona too, dummies, because it doesn't do anything. It's just political theater. It's like having a banky or a blankie or a special teddy bear. It's like, oh, I feel so much better now that I have this diaper on my face. Anyway, I've had it with these people. Had it. Anyway, that's all for this week. I got it under 15 minutes. And make sure to get in the left's face every day as much as you can, because they deserve it. They give us no quarter. We give them no quarter. Make sure to say thank you to a police officer. Treat your fellow citizens with respect, because conservatives actually do believe in coexisting, unlike liberals who want to dominate and control. And have a great week, everybody. Rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.